the Bible, witchcraft, astrology. What do we do? What's right? It's interesting because this has been on my mind, and it's been presented to me by several people, and a client of mine today asked me this. She writes, "Hey Holly, sorry to bother you, but I had a question and got me freaked out last night. A person came up on my TikTok feed, a reformed psychic, now Christian. She said that the spirit guides at crossed loved ones are actually demons." I've also got a very religious relative who I love to pieces, and she is trying to help me find Christ. Keep in mind, I'm born and raised Roman Catholic. I believe in a God. I believe in a higher power. I do believe there's evil. And I understand that anything good can be used for bad. So, my relative gave me a modern Bible. Trying to save me. Anyway, I love her to pieces for it. So I thought I'd open it up randomly and point my finger on a page randomly after I was watching a Greg Braden podcast about the Torah. I love the history of the Bible, the Bibles, many Bibles.
Bar none, has always from day one had a mysterious number associated with the letters. The study of that code is called gematria, the atomic mass of the. What that means is when you look at human DNA, it's become 1, 5, 6, and 3. Literally reads, literal. God, eternal, within the body. Aramaic and Sanskrit, 3 of the root languages. If there's an intentionality underlying life itself, it would make tremendous sense to me that who or whatever is responsible would somehow have left a sign. Why place a letter? We don't know for sure where those numbers came from. The numbers are stable. Once those numbers were assigned some time in antiquity, they've never changed. Every letter of every alphabet has a numeric representation. You're talking about numerology. I want to be very clear about this. The science of numerology was spelled out in the 2nd century as 32 rabbinical rules for how these numbers may and may not be used. So this is the science that is called gematria or gematria in the Hebrew language. Numerology is a subset of gematria, and numerology, the rules are very loose and they're malleable. The rules for the gematria are very strict. They are very specific. Example to help explain this. Let's begin with a skip code of 50 in the book of Genesis. In the book of Genesis, a skip code of 50. The way we would apply a skip code of 50 in the book of Genesis is very simple. We begin with the very first letter in the book of Genesis. Code only works with the Hebrew letters. If you try to translate this into English, it doesn't work. The queries are only in Hebrew. Code of 50. We would begin with the very first letter of the code, very first letter of the book, and we would count 50 letters, or now that the letters have been converted in numbers, 50 numbers over. And when we do that, the very first letter that we see is the letter T, is the letter O. When we go 50 more, the next letter that we find is the letter R. The Hebrew language vowels are omitted. So what we're seeing right now, a skip code of 50 could be considered a primer. It tells us the word Torah. So this is one of the first things that the biblical scholars found a long time ago. And based on this, they said, what happens if we try other skip codes? What happens if we allow the computer to use those skip codes for us? The results of this work were made popular in the mainstream in the year 19.
So now wait till you hear that.
Really bad ideas. Because what I want to talk to you about is a really bad idea that came up during a science conference recently. AI, artificial intelligence, like ChatGPT. We all know that technology that's developed faster than the science conference was to use AI to rewrite the Bible.
Like Siri and Alexa. Welcome to the Church of England. Get smarter and smarter. How will it affect religion to use it? Robots can deliver sermons, give advice. Santo, does God exist? and pray with you.
Now, often when I look up astrology and religion, I usually come up with some pretty negative information. But what about the 3 wise men that follow the stars? So I found this. The 3 wise men were called Magis, and Magis were astrologers. However, what is not commonly known by Christians today is that there was 2 classes of astrology. There's been much historical research which is confirming that the messages that were written over the stars is in every way conforms to the same messages that is in our Bible. But good can be used for evil. And the way I do astrology, which a lot of people are very concerned about, it's not prophecy, it's not a crystal ball, and you have complete control. To me, it's like telling you how to get to a location that's about 3 hours away. I can give you an idea of the best way to go and how to avoid any kind of obstacles or destruction or construction, etc. But ultimately, it's your choice how you get there. My guidance may help, or it may not help. But the idea that I gave you a general concept of how to get to that location is helpful. It's kind of what it's like. Kind of. Now, of course, the jury's still out. I could be 100% wrong. But this is how I believe. Everything is energy. There is not just one answer. There's not just one source. And there's a multitude of perspectives. And as long as you have a good heart and it helps and supports others, then it is what it is. You don't want people addicted. You don't want people dependent. And you want to strengthen them. You want to empower them. In fact, my job is that one day you won't need me. That's what I want. I want to be able to support you so much that you won't need me one day. There you go. What do you think? What's your concept around this? How do you feel? What's in your heart? What's in your soul? I'd love your comments.